On today's episode of Tiaras Tears and Triumphs, I explore how to move from fearfulness to a life where you feel free again. So many women who are in abusive relationships have that privilege of feeling free in their life robbed from them. So this is such an important foundational step for women to start moving away from fearfulness, from having fearfulness limit them and limit their lives and their ability to move on, move forward, to rebuild, to tap into their desires again, to reignite their dreams. This is the first step, and we're going to explore this today. So let's open the door on this week's episode. Have you ever wondered why fearfulness is holding your life to ransom, even after you have broken free from an abusive relationship? Are you feeling frustrated because there is so much more that you want for your life, but you are afraid to do anything differently? Understanding why this happens and learning how to stop fearfulness from limiting you is the place to start, to change the trajectory of your life and take you on a path towards your dreams and your desires. Now, fear has two meanings. The first is forget everything and run, or the second, which is face everything and rise. As a victim of abuse, you have done an amazing job to this point in your life of surviving, and you may have had to forget everything and run because that's what you had to do just to survive. Once you have separated yourself from the person who was abusing you, you are in a new space where you may be still working hard to try and defend yourself from ongoing abusive behaviours from the person you have separated from. Or you may have respite where that person is serving some time because of abusive acts, and you feel like your life is in limbo until that person is released, and then you fear dealing with vengefulness from that person on the other side when they are released. Or maybe you have a pretty good idea that this person is at a safe distance, but you are suffering from anxiety, PTSD, or depression. Or maybe you have turned to things like drugs or alcohol to help you cope with the stress that you are living with. Or maybe you have been estranged from your children during that time that you were caught in a cycle of abuse, and you are still trying to get to your children again and re-establish contact with them. So there can be many different complex things going on in your life. Or maybe you're just scraping by financially. Maybe you feel like you are drowning in debt, or maybe you have been displaced or even homeless. So there are just so many different scenarios of what you might be experiencing, so many more than I can list here. But let's have a look at the dynamics of an abusive relationship and the fallout effects of this for victims and survivors. But don't worry, I know this sounds heavy, and we're not going to stop there. So you'll have an opportunity to do a couple of exercises at the end of this episode to help you take the first important step away from fearfulness and towards a life where you become free to be the person that you truly wanted to be. So for you to feel safe and secure, the first thing you need is to have your physiological needs met. And what do I mean by this? These are just the things that you need for your basic survival, like the air that you breathe, or the food that you eat, or water that you drink, or a roof over your head, or clothes to wear. And of course, we all need sleep to rest and regenerate. Now, maybe some or all of these needs have been threatened in the time that you were in an abusive relationship. So what happens when our most basic needs for survival are being threatened? Fear and insecurity can take hold. So we're all born with a part in our brain called the amygdala. This part of the brain has a really important role. If your brain senses danger, it signals the brain to pump these stress hormones, and this prepares your body to either to fight for your survival or to flee for your safety. So this is there to protect you and to keep you safe. And thank God that we have it, because it helps us to stay alive. So the next thing to understand is that we have three different parts to our mind. The first two are widely known and understood, but the third is not widely talked about, but it is there nonetheless, and we will talk about that. So the first part of our mind is our conscious mind. Now, this is the part of our mind where we are really aware of our thoughts, especially when we become more self-aware. So you will have heard of the expression, guard your thoughts, and there is a very, very good reason for this. Now, the late great Mahatma Gandhi, he expressed this best when he said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values, and lastly, your values become your destiny. So this is the natural cause and effect of what will happen, and it's really good to understand that this is the way it goes. So basically, when you guard your thoughts, you are aware what thoughts are coming up for you, and you can better see then what beliefs are associated with these thoughts. And your beliefs are embedded in your subconscious mind. So if you believe that you have no security, you will have thoughts that reflect this. Now, your subconscious mind, it just adopts beliefs, and these beliefs are adopted from your lived experiences. So this is what teaches your subconscious mind what is true, and your experiences are real, and therefore your subconscious mind will just accept those as being the reality. So if you have been to hell and back in your abusive relationship, your subconscious mind will be doing its very, very best to defend you from more pain and suffering, and may very well be sending you thoughts with strong emotions of fear attached to it. So is it any wonder that you're finding it tough to create a new life or to feel free in this new space that you are currently in? So please don't think that this is bad news. It's actually good news, because understanding that your subconscious mind is doing the best job it can to try and protect you will help you to be more compassionate with yourself about triggers that arise as you take this next courageous step to rediscover yourself and gently embrace your path to healing and wholeness. Now, this last layer of the mind that I touched upon is our superconscious mind. And this is the part of the mind that holds our inner wisdom. So you may know it as your intuition or your sixth sense. So this part of your mind might not feel accessible to you right now. And this is understandable because you may have lost trust on many, many levels, including the ability to trust in yourself after what you have been through in the abusive relationship. So in time, as you take more and more steps away from fearfulness and you keep moving in a new direction where you feel free to be yourself again, you will be able to access this part of your mind again far better.